You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of allgames.com.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody, though.
And welcome back, geeks, gamers, ninjas, robots, and whoever else listen to this show. Everybody, it's HorsePLAY Live. Today is Thursday, September 29th, 2016. This episode 146, entitled Extra Life Fantasy Football Week 4, Rainbow Six Siege, and other goodies. I straight up said, shut up, shut the hell up in chat. Like, I didn't even know how to. I was like, shout. Shout the hell up, bro.
I've been shouting. I'm shouting in the chat.
Right. And as you guys can hear, I'm always joined by the one they call the filthy favorite hardcore casual bear lizard whatever else. The man behind the scenes at geekyantics.net and all things affiliated Geeky Antics, Yoogizilla. What's up, man?
What's up? And I'm warning you, I'm hype on just everything. Well, mostly everything. Some things are not so hype, but you know, everything else has been productive. Good week for TV. We kicking some butt in some competitive play, and you know, and I'm caffeinated. So.
And he beat my royal ass on Sunday.
Oh yeah, after all the junk you spoke.
Yeah, I didn't know your freaking defense was going to get you 40 freaking points. Like, are you serious?
I didn't even need them.
I know, you didn't even need your defense to beat me. I mean, it was sad. I mean, it was very, very sad. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to think, man.
Well, hopefully we'll get to it, but we kind of called it before the season officially started that this is going to be a year where all the notions we have of fantasy football were going to be challenged. Well, all the things experts were saying were going to, you know, half of them were going to result in disappointments, and that's what's happening. You know, the tried and true players are disappointing. Unexpected players are stepping up, and you know, you had to go into the season with some weird draft strategy. I mean, you guys were laughing at me, and I go, "Really? You're going to go with that first?" And I'm like, "Yep." And it worked for me, but we'll get to that.
It's all right, man. I'm not really worried about it. I'm this one right here, this league that we're in right now. This is for fun. This is the TSC league, and we're just kind of, you know, we probably could have started it right around now and had 16 people in there, but all good. So we're gonna. I believe. I don't know. We're still thinking about starting that next one, week 6, which we're quickly coming up on it. So, don't know exactly. I can tell you that right now, because no offense to NFL.com, but your shit sucks.
Their app sucks. At least it's like the most basic app ever.
Yeah, and a lot of people that play fantasy football, especially in multiple leagues, they're on an app of some sort. They're on their Kindle, their tablet, their iPad. They're not on their PC computer because they're watching football. So it's
yeah, and a lot of people don't even know those apps exist. Crazy. I just told Abby, I was like, hey, you know, because everybody has the excuse, I've been really busy. No, you haven't. I know people that are really busy and they still make time. You aren't that busy. You just don't know how to manage your time. I said, mobile app, while you're taking a dump, it takes literally like a minute to set your lineup. And then maybe if you want to work the waiver wire, you know, look up some rankings to get a good idea of what you want to look for. And then, you know, spend 10, 15 minutes. Maybe send us some trade offers. Now's the time to do it. Now's the time to start doing that. The bye weeks are starting. Anyway, before we jump too deep into that, I do want to say, and I'm not going to get into we don't want to go too long on the tangents tonight because we are on the clock, so to speak. But everybody's Santa Claus. Thanks for those. So I know everybody's on point, right? Yeah, the political debate happened. I'm not gonna say who I preferred, but you know, Donald Trump definitely looked like an idiot, and you know, it's it's if you go to our Facebook page, there's some discussion there. It's unavoidable. We're not trying to really get into it, but people just can't help themselves. But you have a guy that has a history of going into debt and starting businesses that go bankrupt, and then you have someone who's evil as well, but at least she understands politics, the better leader, and she's not much of a dumbass. So it's like, well, the lesser dumbass wins. That's kind of how I feel. And I know other people want to say, well, vote independent, but unless everyone is voting independent doesn't vote on the, you know, everybody has to vote on the same candidate in order for it to mean anything. Otherwise, Trump or Clinton are gonna win. So it's like, I'm not gonna vote for either one of them. No, then one of them is gonna win. So that's all I want to say. That's just like a little quick PSA. I don't want to get into it because everybody gets butthurt about it. I mean, people are like, oh, get your tactical gear, get your rations, you know, build that fallout shelter. This is where shit really goes to hell. And I'm like, oh.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. We're all going to move to Canada. By the way, my friends in Canada are saying that the housing market is picking up even more because people are preemptively moving to Canada now. And I'm guessing they're gonna have like a surge in population, maybe 2 or 3 times the population within 5 years.
Dude, it's getting bad enough. Like, I have friends that are constantly. You guys hear me joke about it all the time. Oh, hey, Fifi, when the presidency happens, we're moving to Canada. Like, but people are really saying, "Screw you, we're moving to Canada." It's.
Yep.
It's not. I don't know.
The grass is always greener on the other side, or at least it seems that way. But I have Canadian friends that have moved to the States, so you know, everyone's sick and tired of where they're at, or they just want to change the pace. But I do feel that we Americans have become very pussified, and we just complain about everything. Everything sucks. Everything pisses us off. Everything starts a debate. It's like, well, rather than just arguing and being entitled, let's do things that will bring change. Let's build businesses that will stimulate our economy. Let's create jobs. Let's inspire people. Let's uphold each other. That's the kind of stuff we need to do. Let's rally behind good causes. Mm-hmm. But speaking of a cause, this is a segue over. You like this? Mm-hmm. Speaking of a great cause, Extra Life. And I got to say, I'm underwhelmed by the response. Look, guys, it takes you a few seconds to share our post. Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/Geeky Antics. You're gonna see we have an Extra Life photos album. You can share our promos off of there, share it off of our wall, and just share the link. geekyantics.net/Extra Life. It's super easy. You know, I understand that people are truly tight on money. I don't want anybody donating if they can't really afford it. You know, you gotta do it wholehearted. You gotta be comfortable with it. You know, people ask how much should I donate. Well, the average donation, as far as every time I look at Extra Life, and every time I've done it, every time other people on our team have done it, you know, the average donation is usually around $50. You know, yeah, you could donate less. You could, you know, donate what you want, but you know, it's just that's basically the only thing I can say. So we are creating incentives for brands that are donating $100 or more. I'm putting together a whole packet. For that, I've been approaching different brands, different businesses, people, you know, streamers, internet personalities, stuff like that, content creators, just all kinds of people, local businesses, to try to get some little jump on that. But you know, it's slow moving. We'll get that going. So Extra Life, please get on it. That's the big plug for tonight. Robert Puda in the house. What's up, man? See that? Hey, that's the Canadian right there. A Canadian that's relocated to the States. He's down south.
He's probably going back. He's like, fuck this. I'm going back to Canada.
He loves it where he's at because he's like close to the border of Texas. And with the way he has it set up, he takes advantage of the cheap housing market in Louisiana. And then the general cost of living is cheaper there. But then he goes to Texas and he buys groceries cheaper there. He drives like about an hour. Like he buys milk for like $1, $2, that's super cheap for a gallon of milk.
Yeah, it's like $3.49 here.
Yeah, and I know people that have been telling me that it's like $6, $7 where they're at. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, which is
Can you imagine?
Crazy. Oof.
Yeah, and we go through milk in this household, man. We will tear some milk up between cereal. I like to put a little bit of milk in scrambled eggs when I make that, which is not too often. Some of my things use milk, pancakes, all kinds of different batters. You may want to just a glass of milk. I like a glass of milk. I put ice chips in my milk. I don't know. People say that's weird because it's watered down, but nice ice cold milk. Oh,
yeah.
89 cents for milk. Good Lord.
80.
That's really good.
Damn, I hate you, bro.
He saves. He did the math. I said, well, if you got to calculate the hour each way in gas. Because a lot of people don't think about that. And he says he still saves like $200 to $300 in groceries, which is quite a bit.
Saving $200 or $300 for groceries, yeah, that's worth it in itself, dude.
Yeah, and he's smart too. They try to do it like once a month or something. Yeah. BFT said that's weird, the ice chips thing. I'm not the only one that does it. Sean Freeman over in ZombieCast does that too, and Knuckleballer Radio, can't forget them. Chunky milk is weird. Yeah, it's just refreshing. Like sometimes you want something that has, and this is gonna sound kind of weird too, but a nice body to it, kind of like a stout. The stout is kind of thick and it fills you up, and you can nurse it. And milk's like that. You can't really chug milk. I mean, you could, but you shouldn't.
You get sick as fuck when you do it.
Yeah, like have you seen like those crazy competitions where people chug gallons of milk? Like that's. I love milk, but that even makes me sick.
Well, guys, tonight on the show, what all these milk chugging, we got some brief tech and gaming industry news to discuss before we get into our main events tonight. It's the first bye week in NFL. He already said that, so we're gonna see where people are gonna kind of go with our fantasy stuff. Fall TV is off to an amazing start. We've been watching, I think, some shows are at 2 episodes, some are at 1 this week, and then basically it's going to be next week is going to be the very last week that the fall episodes or the fall shows are starting. So hopefully we'll be able to talk about that a little bit. Did we mention Extra Life, guys? Yep. Join the calls, guys. It's not something that, not going to beg you. But if you are looking for a good cause to support, Extra Life is the way to go. We get to play cool video games for you guys. We get to be live streaming for hours on end, so you guys have awesome content to come and watch us and chill with us and talk with us. And then what's for those that donate, you get cool shit. Well, you're helping a kid too. So
yeah,
you guys ever
outside of the incentives, like let's say you're just a really shitty person, you don't care that kids are suffering and they're dying, and $5 is not worth it for you to help that. You're too cheap. Like very few people can say they don't have the $5, $10 to spare. But let's say you're just a shitty person. All right, well, free publicity, and maybe you could feel a little bit better about yourself, and then go back to be a shitty person. That's one way to do it.
Yeah. But if you guys want to comment, share, donate, and consider joining our team, guys, you guys can go to do that. Go to geekyantics.net/extra life. If you're listening live, come join everyone. Come join us in Discord. We'd love to have you. And, of course, our chat rooms over at allgames.com and, of course, twitch.tv/geekyantics. Better yet, come join us on Discord. I already said it, but I'm going to say it again. Come join us on Discord. We always like extra people to come in and chime in on what their their 2 cents, if you will. But by the way, if you guys are new to the show, welcome to the gang.
Woo!
What's the gang?
Brought it back.
Yeah, you did. What's the gang, guys? Geeky Antics Network Global. Gang. G-A-N-G. It's the gang that we call over here at Community at Geeky Antics. Hashtag Geeks United. Unite. And hashtag Pattern Family. Yeah.
Word.
This show covers... This show covers... Yeah, I'm already ending, right? Guys, this show is this show is all about you guys. It is. It's all about you guys, the geeks, gamers, content creators that give a voice to little guys, just to bring out some new things, some new ideas, and overall to shake things up. Just because, no sense in having the same old shit every week, right? Yogi has to rewrite this probably once a month, and reword it so it's not the same thing for me. Like, I'll read it, and he knows I will. And you guys have heard me read his ridiculous corrections. Verbatim. I do. Anyway, HorsePLAY Live is where geeks come to play and get in trouble. I'm not 9 times out of 10. No, it's 10 out of 10. I mean, you guys know it. So, we're the flagship talk radio show for Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with AllGames.com, Tangent Bound Network, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, and more. Our show covers all the geek aspects of geek culture with a special focus on indie and strategy games, technologies, rants, issues that geeks face, and of course community events we try to be a part of. We're trying to put on ourselves. Yeah, I'm not going to say it again, but we rant like a motherfucker, okay? Sometimes we can talk about tabletop and retro gaming and food. Why? Because we can. Yogi, you want to tell everybody a little bit more about the show?
What I want to say before I get into that, I'm very proud to say that the Geeky Antics Network, out of over 1 million hits on most search engines, Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever you're using, we are showing up on the front page, if not at number 1 of search results. That makes me proud as hell. That means people are finding our content and they're finding it useful and unique, and they're coming back to it. They're voting with their engagement. And even with that, it's sad. Most people still lurk, but the traffic, I see the traffic, and that's why we always go through this spiel, because we know there's new people joining us all the time.
Right.
And this show is the vein of the Geeky Antics Network. It's part of it. It's a way for us to give back to the community and collaborate with our independent contributors. And this is a live show; it's uncut, so crazy things can and will happen. And we try not to be too crazy. Every now and then we get really crazy. I mean, it's definitely NSFW, but we just believe in being authentic, just keeping it real with you guys. And like Obi pointed out, we ran to just like I am right now. And unlike some shows that say they're live, we actually engage with our audience. We acknowledge you. We want to get you involved, not just during the show, but before and after the show. And really, the derailing is, we account for the derailing. It's part of the fun. We're passionate about what we do. We're just having a good time. We're trying to do something different. We're trying to create more unity in the geeky and gaming spaces. And we ask you to keep the open mind, have fun with us. And remember, this is HorsePLAY. With a name like that, you can only expect 4 things: horses, furries, bronies, and shenanigans. And we're trying to stick to the latter, not so much of the bronies and furries. So I don't judge.
Tiger Claw said, it's the way when you actually have your community join you in some gaming. You can just call it a gangbang. That'll probably be. I am gonna for sure say that the first stream I'm on and be like, "Welcome to the Extra Life gangbang." I'm gonna say it.
Oh God, maybe not during Extra Life. We want to represent them properly, even though we're not partnered with them. We're still like.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's people's mind. I'm talking about gang, Geeky Antics Network Global, and we're banging.
Oh yeah, no. Again,
people think that
world.
If people take that out of context, move to Canada. Don't forget, Geeks Rock Stars. HorsePLAY Live is every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. GMT on Twitch channels Geeky Antics and simulcasted over on YogiZilla. For those that have, a semi-crappy connection or on mobile, HorsePLAY Live replay.
Data usage. Sorry.
HorsePLAY
I had to say it.
Right. HorsePLAY replay is also available earlier at about 5 p.m. on Thursdays Eastern Time on the network that started G4 TV, of course, All Games Radio Network, allgames.com. You guys go over there about 5 o'clock, hit that live or chat button, and just kind of sit there and chat for a few, give us, 10 minutes. Be grateful. Even if you don't want to sit there and chat, just turn it on and mute it. Put it in the background. We really appreciate it. It does help. You guys have no idea, but it does help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They may have some technical issues, so bear with them. Everybody goes through growing pains. We're going through our own. Sometimes people, the funny thing about growing and about success is that people always want it, but they don't realize the work that comes with it. And then it's like, whoa, that the hard part is sustaining that growth and repeating the success so you don't implode. And that's the tough part. That's the part no one really talks about. Like, how do you keep up with the demand and keep consistent with your quality? So it's a lot of work. It ain't easy. It ain't easy being green. Yo.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Is your body ready?
Oh, my body's ready.
Is your mind?
Oh, my God.
And now it's time for the obligatory news and rants.
Ding.
Yeah, that's when you're supposed to ding, dirtbag.
That's right. Look, I've been on point the past 2 weeks. Let a brother live.
You've already dinged once. I mean, you dinged earlier. Don't forget, Geek Rock Stars. You dinged. I
felt like dinging. Let me ding when I want to ding.
You dinged at the beginning of the show.
I wanna listen.
What do we got for news, man? Tell these guys some news and stop yelling at us.
We're talking about Canada, and we got a little Canadian news here. The Canadian smartphone maker BlackBerry has announced that they will no longer manufacture phones with their iconic physical keyboards and trackball/touchpads. And it seems like they're finally abandoning BlackBerry OS 10 and focusing on Android to kind of reestablish the market share. Other sources indicate that BlackBerry has laid off hundreds of employees. They may be looking at focusing on software and enterprise solutions, which really, that's where they really got their claim to fame, and that's where they're still really big. A lot of execs, a lot of older folks, the baby boomer generation, they're still big on BlackBerry. I'm kind of on that cusp where I'm like, I like the new technology, but I miss physical keyboards, and I wish I could have the features of Android with like a slide-out keyboard I could use when I feel like it. They started having like these hybrid touchscreen / keyboard phones, and they stopped doing it. There was a phone I remember that the keyboard would slide out, and you had the option. So if your touchscreen wasn't working properly, you had that to fall back on. So I don't know. I guess I haven't really completely come around. But what's interesting though, BlackBerry, people don't really think about them as a contender anymore, but they still generate around 2.2 billion in revenue a year, at least the past couple of years, which is not a shabby number, until you realize that's way less than half of what they used to bring in. So, I feel kind of bad. Most people don't care. It's like, it's BlackBerry. No one cares about them anymore. They were the big thing, and then they just disappeared. And again, it's kind of, like I said, success. The tough part is sustaining success and being ready for what comes afterwards. You have to be ready to adapt and pivot. There's a business term for you. Pivot. Reiterate.
Pivot.
Wait. What's this? BFT says in the chat. Step 1, have no quality. Step 2, never promise anything more. Step 3, ... Step 4, profit. Oh, and to your point earlier, OB, I know we're trying to keep our time, but I like the gangbang thing. But I could just see people, because again, overly sensitive world. It's the same people that complain about Tracer being too sexual, which is mind-boggling. I still don't get that.
Fuck them too.
They'll be like, "Oh, they're promoting gang violence, or they're promoting porn." And you just can't win. People are just if there's something to complain about, people will find it. They'll dig. All right, so back to the news. Back to news. The biggest media conglomerate that you probably never heard of, the NAI, National Amusements Incorporated, has called upon CBS Corporation and Viacom Incorporated to explore a merger. This has been going on and off for a while now, but the talks have escalated, and it's already bumped up Viacom shares by close to 10%. But CBS CEO Leslie Moonves is resistant to the idea of recombination, though they would gain the brand power of mainstays such as Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, MTV. Hey, those still matter, right? Well, I like Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, MTV not so much. It's not the channel used to be. So they're probably saying, "Hey, who cares? This sounds really like corporate." But these kind of things have an impact on the marketplace. You look at the Comcast. NBC Universal move, and then now they've been talking on and off with Time Warner Cable. And I always feel like diversity is always better for the consumer, and the more there's mergers, the worse it is for consumers and shareholders usually. So there's something to keep an eye on. And upon thinking a little further, it does seem that the move would make Viacom look better on paper and help, spread their $12 billion debt. That's quite a bit of debt. Then again, this is a mega corporation, so, Oh, yeah, and Tiger Claw wants to point out that Viacom owns Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Viacom owns just about everything. Viacom used to be very pervasive. They used to have the little thing that would show up before, like, cartoons and different shows. But now, like, you don't even, see that anymore. Like, they're just, like, in the shadows running everything. Like, they're, like, I would say they're, like, one of, like, 10, 20 companies that are so huge that if something happened to them, things would just explode everywhere. Maybe possibly too big to fail. Sumner Redstone, NAI CEO and Viacom founder, really wants to push for the merger. As sources says, he's attached to Viacom subsidiaries such as Paramount Studios. There's another big brand right there, Paramount. Everybody knows Paramount. They're like on every other movie. Well, they're not as big as they used to be, but they're the one with the unicorn, right, Obi? That their little intro in the movies? Yeah, I think that's them. Or is that TriStar? I always confuse them. Oh, Paramount is the mountain. Paramount's the mountain. Redstone is 93 years old. This is what's crazy. And this guy's still freaking working and cracking the whip and making business moves like this. I have to wonder if this is like a dying man's last wish. Like, just merge, please. Before I die, just do it. And you may have seen Redstone. If you never heard the name, chances are you probably have seen him at some point. He's got a very familiar face. The man gets around. So anyway, moving on. Some more exciting news, perhaps more relevant news. Speaking of TV, this is a really big thing, very big thing. The last season of Adventure Island, not Adventure Island, I'm thinking of video games. Adventure Time, wow. My head's always in video games.
Wow, bro.
Adventure Time. Right? Yeah, I know. That just happened. Adventure Time is coming up 2018, last season. Then I put the show at around 148 episodes. What's neat about this show is like it came out of nowhere, really. I don't know what the creators did before the show, but it just felt like it was just an overnight success, right? In its debut year, it peaked at 2.5 million viewers on average, I believe. That's really good for TV. I mean, you look at shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I love, but I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like a 1.2 show, on a good week. So something to think about. We still got 2 years. There's still time. Now the show, will be missed, but we'll still have shows like Rick and Morty, which I'm a huge fan of. Harmon Quest, which I still have to catch more of. And Steven Universe, which I really feel like is gunning for that throne that Adventure Time has. It really makes you think a lot of that show. I don't know if the same people are involved or what, but I watch Steven Universe. I'm like, I feel like going for the same audience, but all great shows in their own rights. You like Adventure Time, Obi?
That with that weird ass dog and that kid.
Yeah, the dog with the glass. I'm not as huge in it as some people are, but I get the appeal. got a real charm to it. It's unique. And like what's neat about it is, I think what people respond to it so well is because the creators, you can tell they put a lot of love into it. Like they have lessons and really like strong themes in there without shoving them down your throat. And this feels, man, this feels on it. It's almost like a video game. The adventures they go through, and the little boss battles and everything. But like it's done really well, you know. And the art style is unique. Some people might say it's shitty, but I'll say unique. So back to video games. My head's already there apparently. Adventure Island. So the Sony spokesperson recently admitted that No Man's Sky's PR strategy, I think the quote wasn't the best. And then it says they went on to say something about the Hello Games could have used a good PR firm or good representation to control the message more effectively. And I'm like, isn't that what you as the publisher are there for? Or weren't you backing them? Like what's like they were involved. I know that they didn't own the game, but they were heavily involved. So it's like, okay, well, as if that wasn't bad enough, now they're under investigation. Hello Games is, not Sony. The ASA, Advertising Standards Authority, yes, that is a thing, has confirmed that they are investigating Hello Games for false advertising. Now, they can't confirm the details of what's going to be really a long, ongoing investigation, I feel. But they have confirmed that they're looking at promotional videos and screenshots regarding the UI, ship flying behavior, animal behavior, size of animals, large-scale space combat, flowing water and aiming systems, and other things that were sorely misrepresented. Even the quality of the game's graphics, and by extension, the performance, may be called into question. So, this is just I don't know, man. No Man's Sky, man. That game has just ruffled a lot of feathers, and I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't want to seem entitled. I know it's a small dev team, but I think they aim too high, and even though they didn't really promise much, they allow people to believe what they believe. It was very misleading, the things they were saying, and unfortunately, it's a great company that just made some bad decisions, and they're paying for it now. And I hate to say it because I hate seeing smaller companies suffer, but marketing it's a tough thing. That's why you hire people to help you with it, and don't try to do it yourself. Sorry, Sean Murray.
Bazinga.
There you go. So quick deals for cheap bastards. We forgot to mention this every month, but Ubi 30, the 30 years of Ubisoft celebration is still going on. Log in to the Uplay app or Club Ubisoft, whatever they're calling it these days. I think it's still called Uplay. The Club Ubisoft is the mobile app. And you can get the crew for free this month. Previous games that we forgot to mention were Rayman Origins, Splinter Cell, I forgot what else they had before that, and Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, which we did report a few times. The games all seem to be aiming for that 5 to 10 year or older mark, so I wouldn't expect anything from this generation or a recent noteworthiness, but it's still cool. Free stuff is free. You can play. If you have to download it, you can add it to your library, and there'll be a link to your Uplay account, so that's cool too. Games with Gold, I think we already talked about this last week. Assassin's Creed Chronicles China is on there. Earthlock and Mirror's Edge via Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. And it's confirmed Lost Odyssey is backwards compatible, which we reported also on Facebook. That's pretty cool. Making me nostalgic, actually. And that's it. That's all we'll cover today. Do you have anything to add, Obi? All right, good talk. Where did Obi go? Obi left me. He said goodbye, but he didn't. Where'd he go? Wait. Oh, okay. He's had to step away. Gotcha. I should really look at the chat. Well, we'll just jump right in to our little quickie fantasy football week 4. Like we said earlier, it's the first bye week where, this is where we really start to see which teams are the true contenders for the playoffs, because, it's really easy to say the team with the best starting lineup is, the most studs is the winner. But really, the ones with the depth are going to win, because, it's not if the, players will get injured, it's when. And if you don't have that depth, you don't have the depth to cover injuries or bye weeks, you're going to have a tough time. So week 4 brings us only 2 teams out, Packers and Eagles, both really, really strong teams. So that is a big deal. Probably 2 of the strongest fantasy teams and the strongest teams, period, in football right now. That's the NFL, not soccer. I want to be clear on that. So we do have a global audience.
Yeah.
They're like, what are they talking about? Eagles and Packers. What are they? Are they like in a farm league for
an expansion
Manchester?
Manchester, yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking the same thing. Like, no. The Fudge Packers, yeah, I know them. Anyway, if you want some scrub insights, I want to get conversation going. We have a Facebook page, of course, Geeky Antics. We have the gaming group where we've been talking a lot of fantasy football. Geeky Antics PC and Xbox gaming community on Facebook. We're thinking about doing a fantasy group, but then that might be a little bit too much. But I might still do it. Just have one place to have all the fantasy stuff.
Yeah, because this is not like we're getting more and more into it every year. So like to have that group, like especially like the TSC one where it's gonna grow to where you're gonna have to cut it off at however many teams, or have it to where people are have to have two fantasy football leagues. So
yeah. So maybe what we could do is just like combine all our efforts, TSC and Geeky Antics and all our friends, and have one common group we can just talk fantasy football. And because we're already having those conversations, but we can just have it in one place and then not bore the other people. Because that's the one thing. A lot of gamers are like anti-sports because we tend to be introverts, and
right.
Sports is more of like an outgoing type of thing. I find, especially like football, which is like probably one of the most popular sports these days. Like baseball isn't what it used to be. Basketball is still kind of niche, and hockey, that's like a even more niche thing, I feel. So football is really like
I know I know quite a bit of people that like hockey.
I do too, but it's not as common.
I don't follow hockey like I follow football.
Yeah, like I feel like maybe it's like a hipster thing to hate on the NFL. I feel like it's like it's so mainstream. Like, well, I'm an introvert. I'm a little antisocial sometimes, but you got to break out of your comfort zone, and that's really what excites me about the NFL. It's a great way to make new friends, like with old friends. If it wasn't for fantasy football, there were a lot of people we wouldn't keep up with.
Right.
Nagamitsu. Oh, ohayou gozaimasu. I don't know why I said it like that. I had like a brain fart, I think. Which I get a lot of those. But anyway, you can also email us, mail at geekyantics.net, tweet us at geekyantics. And I think if you're really passionate about talking football, I will gladly make you an admin on the new group, and I'll just make that.
Right.
Because I like to have a place. There's a lot of great fantasy football podcasts and groups, but they tend to be geared towards like people that are real huge fans and like super competitive, and one more casual, and one more about come as you are and keeping it simple.
You guys have come so far from our first show. So proud of you guys.
Oh my God, that's Soldier. That's got to be Soldier. Yeah.
I don't know.
I know we've come a long way, man. So we were just talking about at the beginning, all the stuff that's been going on.
10 episodes shy of 3 years.
Yeah, and a lot of people that listen to us feel there's been so much content and so many things that have happened. Most people think we've been doing this particular show for like 5, 6, 7 years. I'm like, no,
it's not even.
It feels like that.
Yeah,
But
especially dealing with me. But it's yeah, we're growing. We're having fun. Nice to see you again, pal.
it's a little overwhelming too, because like we and again, I want to apologize to people that have been contacting me on Twitter and Facebook, going the extra step to show their interest. I definitely appreciate that. Joining the team. There is a post on our forums that explains what we're looking for, what we're focusing on right now. I've been getting a lot of messages on Facebook too, and email, and people are like, "Oh, do you do S for S? Shout out for shout out, or do you want to partner up?" And I'm always willing to collaborate, but like I'm at this point where I really gotta focus on the people that are gonna follow through and really like team up and really like collaborate, because I've invested so much time in clients that are just high maintenance and partners that are just kind of dead away. And me personally, I just can't do it anymore. My time is at a premium, so you know. Oh, and so just saying, it started just before I started that new job. You leaving us already? Don't leave. He said, "Peace." Stay for the show. We don't have that much longer. We got like an hour. You gotta rock the beard. Gotta rock the beard. Yeah, we
Oops. Of course, I'm still rocking the beard, man.
We all have.
Even though I got my camera on, Yogi, so that's why I said. That's why he said that. But yeah, dude, my wife doesn't like it much at all. But yeah, it's still there.
Oh. And so back to the fantasy football thing. Hit us up if you want us to make this happen, because I want to have people that will help contribute. We gather different articles, from different places. Talk about our favorite podcasts. Just kind of key off what we're doing and provide our insights and theory craft. Like that's something we really enjoy. Like whether we're talking WWE or we're talking about our favorite TV shows, or football, there's always a narrative, right? And you always want to get ahead of it. Like, what's the narrative here? What's the game script? What's going to happen here?
Right. We theory craft about everything.
Yeah.
Like
that's what.
Oh, don't you think this would be cool if this happened? Like, yeah.
Dude, that could be the name of the group. Geeky Antics, Fantasy Football Theory Crafting. Ooh.
Maybe not even just theory craft.
Theory craft? Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I think that might be it. We got dibs. Don't do it. If someone else does this before we do, we're calling you out, and we're gonna post a picture of goat nuts in your channel or your Facebook group. I don't know, something.
He is. I really. Yeah. I'm too bit. I'm at this point right now. Like we got a meeting tomorrow. Like I said, with the lawyers and stuff like that for the org. So it's kind of like I'm getting busier and busier, because then I actually try to make sure that I spend time with my kid. My wife's home now. It's where she's actually here, to where I see her when she wakes up.
Hey, new follower.
Say who it is.
Like me too.
I get to see her when she wakes up. I get to see her when she goes to bed. Or when I go to bed, and it's just, it's awesome. So, but we're busy. So
speaking of which, Soldiers had like a couple of kids since we started this show.
Yeah, Homeboy's been pumping the kids out. Congrats on the new one, by the way.
Yeah, man. We got once we because right now what we're doing, we're in the formulation phase. Like, Obi's got his project going on, I got my project going on. We got the stuff we're doing for the network as a whole. Everybody's got their own pet projects, so we're kind of just trying to systemize things to make it more efficient, right. Make things run smoother. Like, people being able to apply for our team, screening different partners, providing different channels for people to contact us and go and set up those partnerships and those collaborations, so that we can focus more on the things that we love, like streaming and having game nights and things you can't really automate. Because I hate automation, because a lot of people focus on that exclusively, and they forget to just say thank you to someone or let someone know, hey, I've been thinking about you. And Soldier, we always talk about you, man. We're always like, at least one in every 10 episodes, where we're like, you know what, Miss Soldier, just think about you.
We talk about your big Grizzly Adams ass every now and then.
Yeah,
unless he's like bald with no beard now. I mean, I don't really foresee
that's not happening. I can't see that. Yeah, his luscious hair. No, there's no way he'll get rid of that. Hey, listen, enjoy the hair while you still can. That's all I can say. But yeah, it's just great having those roundtable discussions, and like between the three of us alone, our opinions and perspectives cannot be any more different, and it's great because too many shows that everybody just agrees with each other, and I'm not being contrarian just for the sake of contradicting each other, but it's just provide a different perspective, and it's interesting seeing where everybody's coming from. That's where good conversations happen. So
right.
But so back to football. Rob Gronkowski, the Gronk, says he's eager to come back. And he said something about he wants to do the crazy things that he does on the field. Like this guy's got energy. I don't know if you've seen some of the animated GIFs and videos out there, but he does these weird dances. He's been like on different shows, and he's a funny dude. Oh, he said he got his beard cut and trimmed way down. Oh man,
it's all good.
Yeah. Times they are changing. Yeah, well, that's life. Things are always in flux. Adrian Peterson wants to come back this season, and I've been thinking for people that have that IR slot, it might be worth stashing him. And I'm saying this, and I might be shooting myself in the foot, but that's fine. But keep in mind that for fantasy purposes, you may only get 1 or 2 games from him if you stash him now. Because people are dropping him unless they're like in a dynasty or keeper format. Which, if that's the case, if someone's dropped him, definitely snatch him up for that long-term value. I mean, I don't think he's the AP we've known because once players get dinged up, it's really tough for him to go back to 100% no matter what they do. But he's still a player with that kind of talent. You just can't ignore him no matter what age he is, what condition he's in. So another big player that's been hankering to come back, Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles didn't come back in week 3, even though they kept saying, yeah, definitely, he's going to come back. Then he didn't. He might come back in week 4. But I really don't feel good about starting him. I know he's a big player, but I don't think he's a must start until week 7. I think they have a week 6 bye. So I don't see him, maybe even week 8. So, it might be time to, you can still sell, you can hold on to Spencer Ware, or maybe just, trade him high while he's still got value. But I think Spencer Ware still has some good games left in him. So, Obi, what do you want to go through? We have a few articles that we're going to go through. You want to go through some start-sit advice and then just move on to TV talk? I don't know how much in the mood you are to go deep on this.
On the football?
Yeah.
We can if you want to. I mean, I'd probably much rather to talk about the shows that just came out.
All right, so we'll keep it quick. You want to talk about quarterbacks to sit and start, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, DSTs? What do you want to start?
You choose. I don't care.
All right, I'm going to start with running backs because that's the position that I think is the hardest because I feel like running backs, and there's not really any data to support this, but I feel like that's the position where people get to hurt the most, and there's the least amount of depth. So I looked at some stats, and it said that the rate of wide receivers getting injured is higher than running backs, but there's less talent, less depth for fantasy at the RB position, so it hurts a lot more. That's what I feel like, because a team that's playing from behind isn't going to rush as much, and that's the problem. A lot, unless you have a top offense, they're not going to be running the ball as much. So it's that's how I look at it, at least, and my logic may be flawed. I know there's some holes there. So anyway, running backs start of the weeks. This is according to NFL.com, which is not the end all be all. It's a good place to start looking, but you know